councils and mayors, the elected people of cities, territories, members of OIDP, ladies and gentlemen participants, and honorable guests, to this opening ceremony of the conference, 20th conference of OIDP, notables of the communes and religious guides, ladies and gentlemen, representatives of Association of Women, of young people, of unions, of NGOs, association, movement, organization of human rights of women and people in situation with handicap, disabled people, ladies and gentlemen. Our commune is very delighted. The commune of Cocody is celebrating. The news are good because the commune of Cocody is hosting on behalf of Côte d'Ivoire, our country, the 20th conference of OIDP, of the International Observatory of Participative Democracy. And from this day, Tuesday, 20th October, till Friday, that's the reason why our community is happy to host you to this 20th conference of OIDP. The population of Cocody, with they had the city council and the mayor, Mr. Jean-Marie Yassé, are proud to know that at last our commune is hosting the conference of OIDP, the 20th, despite the outbreak of COVID-19 that has changed our habits, our way of life, and that would like also prevents us from progressing in our projects for the improvement of the life conditions of our people throughout this type of activity. I mean, the 30th conference of OIDP, you are here in this prestigious room of the Palace of Congrès, Hôtel Ivoire, opening that we are not going to yield before COVID-19 because we are on the way to defeat it. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, that's the reason why you who have come from near or by far, from other countries, from other regions, communes, and territories of the world, on behalf of OIDP, you are here in Côte d'Ivoire, in Cocody, at home. You have braved, defeated that pandemics in order to participate to this conference. We are happy to see you here in our country, Côte d'Ivoire, land of hospitality. By my modest voice, the city council and the population, the citizen population of Côte d'Ivoire, the population of all our country, the Côte d'Ivoire, wish you a warm welcome in Côte d'Ivoire. I say Akwaba to you, Dalamjam. Willkommen in various languages. I'm wishing you warm welcome. Land of hospitality. I would like to ask to you, the honorable guest, to apologize for mispronouncing your names. Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, you are into your home in Cocody, the district of Abidjan, in Côte d'Ivoire, commune, opening greatly his arms so that you can feel at home during these 3 days. That's going to take our OIDP conference, and I hope that the proceedings are awaited by each and every one of our population all around the world for a participative democracy, excluding no citizen, taking into account the opinions of our population and what is related to the life conditions. On behalf of our citizen population, the City Council, and the Mayor Jean Yassé, besides the acting president of OIDP, I wish you to have a good stay in Côte d'Ivoire, mainly in Achan land in Cocody. Long live participative democracy, long live the governance, the local governance for the benefits of the population, our regions, cities and territories. Thank you very much for your attention.
Nous allons accompagner la voix de la commune de Cocody par les applaudissements.
We are going to give a round of applause to the speaker of the commune,
Madame Nelly Wassena.
Mrs. Lady Wassena. Thank you very much.
Une contribution à travers un film,
an input throughout
du directeur général de
a
l'Organisation
movie,
mondiale
the
de la
one
santé,
of the
grand défenseur depuis son élection,
International Organization of Health,
en adéquation
great
avec cette
principles
20e
in line
conférence,
with this
entre autres,
20th
la couverture
conference,
sanitaire universelle,
and also
la
the
santé de
health
la femme, de
coverage, the
l'enfant et de
health of
l'adolescent
the women,
et les conséquences
the children,
du changement climatique
and
sur la santé.
consequences
Pour sa contribution, nous
of the
vous
outbreak of
invitons à suivre
COVID-19.
cet élément.
I would like you to
Adanom
follow this element,
directeur général
Mr.
de l'OMS.
Tedros, General Director of
Mr. John Marquez,
OMS.
dear colleagues and friends,
Chers collègues, chers
bonjour à
amis,
tous.
good morning to you all.
Strong local governance is essential for
La
addressing
gouvernance
threats of all
locale est
kinds. That has been true in
importante.
the COVID-19 pandemic,
Pendant cette crise
in providing public health and private
de la
care services to
COVID,
protect
nous nous
local
sommes
communities.
attelés à déployer des moyens pour résoudre les différentes situations
Local health
auxquelles
authorities and local
les
communities
populations ont
can
été
create
confrontées.
policies tailored to local needs,
Il faut dire que
which is
les
essential for creating a people-centered
gouvernements
outlook.
locaux, les élus locaux se sont
A
attelés
pillar
à
of local
travailler
governance is participatory democracy.
un pilier de la démocratie participative, c'est la gestion et les actions des gouvernements locaux.
Engaged and empowered communities are
Les
our best defense against health threats.
Sociétés et
That
les
requires social
élus locaux
contracts
équipés de moyens, de politiques
between those who control
pertinentes pourraient leur permettre de
and
gérer
those
les
who
ressources
lack resources.
et apporter aussi assistance à ceux qui manquent de ressources. Et cela permet de fournir des besoins au niveau sanitaire entre ceux qui prennent les décisions et ceux qui sont affectés par les décisions prises.
WHO's Handbook on Social Participation for Universal Health Coverage provides a valuable resource.
Il faut dire que l'assurance maladie universelle intervient dans ce contexte. Nous travaillons alors de conjoint avec nos États membres quant à la résolution de cette Assemblée. Nous demeurons engagés à travailler avec tous les pays afin de répondre aux besoins des communautés locales. Cela fait partie de notre vision afin que nous ayons un monde plus juste, un monde plus équitable. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Après ce message,
After this message related to the inaugural conference as a gear of the change of local governance, one of the issues that the Prefect Gervais Koulibaly is going to elaborate on now. Please give him a round of applause.
Monsieur le ministre de
Mr. Minister of Interior,
Sécurité,
of Security,
Monsieur le ministre,
Mr.
président
Minister,
de l'UVICOS,
Chairman of IVICOC,
Madame le ministre,
Mrs. Minister, Mr. the Mayor, President
l'OIDP, Mesdames
of
et Messieurs,
OIDP, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, allow me,
à l'entame
please,
de mon propos,
in the
de
outset of
remercier
my speech, to thank
Monsieur Yassé Jean-Marc,
Mr. Yassé
maire de la
Jean-Marc,
commune
Mayor
Cocody
of the commune
et président
of Cocody
en exercice
and
de
acting chairman
l'Organisation
of the International
internationale de la
Organization
démocratie
of Democracy,
participative,
Participative
et ses
Democracy,
collaborateurs
and
d'avoir
his
porté
collaborators
leur choix
for choosing
pour
me
prononcer la
as
conférence inaugurale de la
the
20e
speaker
assise de l'OIDP
for
dans
opening the
dont
ceremony
le thème
of the 20th conference of OIDP,
territoire
which
durable et
theme
démocratie
is
participative. La démocratie
sustainable
participative,
territories and towns for
gage
and
d'un développement
participative
durable des villes.
democracy.
Nous sommes donc appelés
We are
pendant
therefore
les 3
called
journées que
during
dureront ces
the 3
assises
days of
à
this conference
réfléchir
to
et à proposer des solutions
reflect,
ou des pistes
think,
de solutions
and make some
à la
proposals,
problématique
some
que
recommendations
pose le thème énoncé
related
ci-dessous.
to the issue we have to address here. In other
Nous
words,
devrons répondre
we
à la question
should
suivante.
answer the following
En
question.
quoi la démocratie
How
participative
can participative democracy
ou même
ensure
assurer un développement durable
a
des
sustainable development of cities?
Pour répondre à cette question,
In order to address this issue,
je vous propose
I would like to
que nous
propose to
convenions
you
ensemble
that we agreed
d'une
altogether
définition,
on a
car
definition,
vous n'êtes pas sans
because
savoir
you are
que pour certains penseurs,
not to ignore
la
that some
notion même
thinkers
de développement durable
define sustainable development with a kind of intricacies. So,
avec Madame Gros Harlem,
with Mrs. Gro
Premier
Allen,
ministre norvégien qui
the
disait en 1987
Prime Minister of Norvegia in 1987, is that the sustainable development
est un développement qui
is a
répond aux
development
besoins
that meets the needs of the
sans
present
compromettre la capacité
without
des
compromising
générations
the
futures
capacity
à répondre.
of the future generation.
Autrement dit,
In other words,
le développement durable
sustainable
est
development
l'idée
is the
que les
idea
sociétés humaines
that the human
doivent
societies
vivre et répondre
should
à leurs
live
besoins
and
sans
reply
compromettre
to
la
the needs without
capacité des
compromising
générations futures
the
à
capacity
répondre à leurs propres
of the
besoins.
future generation to
La mise en
meet their
œuvre
own
de ce
needs.
concept
The implementation of these
prendre en
concepts
compte la
implies to take into
préservation de
account the
l'environnement
preservation of the
et des
environment
ressources
and
naturelles,
the human
l'équité
resources,
sociale.
social equity, and economy.
Et maintenant, rapprochons le
Now, let's
développement
draw
durable
the sustainable
concept
development
de
to
ville
the
durable.
concept of sustainable
Le
city.
thème de ville
The theme of
lui-même
city
peut
itself
recouvrir au moins
can
deux
cover at
significats.
least two meanings.
La ville peut désigner
A city
un type de
can
collectivité
relate to a type
territoriale
of local
ou encore,
collectivity or
deuxième signification,
as second
une
definition,
unité urbaine,
an urban
une
unity
agglomération.
and agglomeration.
Pour les besoins de
For the
notre
purpose
exercice,
of this exercise,
nous
this
retiendrons
our
la
assignment
deuxième
will bear
définition,
the second
savoir
definition.
que
That
la
is,
ville est une
that the
unité
city
urbaine.
is an urban
La définition
unity, the
au sens
definition
des géographes.
given by
La ville
the
durable
geographists.
est donc
The sustainable city
une unité urbaine
is an urban
respectant
unity
les principes
respecting
du
the
développement
principles
durable
of
et de
sustainable
l'urbanisme
development
écologique.
and ecological urbanism.
Mais avant de décliner
But
les
before
principes du développement durable
Talking about the
que doit
principles of the
retenir
sustainable
l'agglomération
developments
urbaine pour
that
être reconnue
our
comme étant une
urban
ville durable,
area should meet
il
to be defined
convient
as a sustainable
de
city,
mettre en évidence
it is
d'abord
important
les
to lay the
difficultés
emphasis
que
on the
rencontrent
difficulties
généralement les villes et
that
qui sont
the
les
cities are
préoccupations
faced
quotidiennes
with
des
and that
élus.
are the day-to-day concerns
Une
of
des
the elected
premières
people.
difficultés
One of the
que
first
rencontrent les
difficulty
C'est donc
that
la gestion
the
des
cities are faced with is the management of the
La
waste.
deuxième,
The
c'est
second
la pollution.
is the issue of pollution. The third
Le transport
is
avec
the
ses
transportation
embouteillages et toutes les
with
difficultés que
the
nous
bottlenecks,
connaissons, les longues
the
heures
traffics
d'attente, etc.
waiting too long.
Quatrième, le
And the
logement.
fourth element is the housing. The fifth, insecurity.
Sixième,
And the
la
sixth
croissance urbaine,
is the
c'est-à-dire
urban growth.
démographique
It means
et
demography
l'urbanisation.
and urbanization.
La septième,
The seventh
ce sont les inégalités.
is related to the social
C'est
inequality.
la résolution de ces
Is the
difficultés
resolution of those
permet à une
problems,
ville
those issues that can
d'être
help
classée ville
a city to be identified as a sustainable town or sustainable city.
des
One of the
présentes
objectives
étant
of
d'offrir
this conference is
aux
to
gouvernements
offer
locaux en
to the
général
local
et à
government
ceux
in general
membres de l'OIDP en
and those who are
particulier
members of
des solutions pour permettre aux
IOPD
villes
solutions
dont ils ont
in order
la
to
charge
help the cities they are managing
d'être des villes
to
durables.
become sustainable
Le comité
cities.
d'organisation
The organizing
a
committee
retenu 4 principaux
has
axes
board
thématiques
three areas
qui regroupent
related to the theme,
en in fine les
grouping
difficultés
the
que rencontrent les unités
difficulties
difficultés que
the
connaissent
urban
tous
areas are related
Ainsi,
to, the problems I've just
l'analyse
mentioned
de ces
earlier.
thématiques
So the
organisera
analysis
de la
of
manière
those themes will be organized like that. A conference on each theme shall be
Puis,
delivered, and then
nous, les panels seront organisés
the
afin
panels
de permettre
shall be
aux
organized in
participants
order
d'en
to help the
débattre
participants
et
to
d'échanger
discuss
leurs expériences
and share their
et de prendre,
experience
le cas échéant, des
and
résultats.
capture, if that is the
Ainsi,
case,
nous aurons
the
axe
best. So in the first
Développement
area,
économique
we'll have to deal with the local economical development. In the theme, we'll think about the fight against
à la
poverty,
création de richesses et
the
d'emplois
creation of
décents.
riches and decent
L'actualité de la
employment.
COVID-19
The
qui a induit de manière
reality
considérable la
of
croissance
COVID-19
économique sera
that
prise
has
notamment sur l'organisation des activités
affected the
commerciales
people
en
should be
matière
addressed
en
in
milieu
terms
métropolitain.
of the metropolis.
Axe 2.
The second
Environnement et participation
area.
citoyenne. Cette thématique, quant à elle, permettra
environment
aux
and citizen
participants de réfléchir et de
participation
proposer
that
aux
will help the
gouvernements
participants
locaux
to propose to the
des
elected
solutions
people
en vue de
solutions
l'amélioration des
in order to
conditions de
improve
vie dans la
the life
collectivité.
conditions in
Cela
the
en
collectivity
s'appuyant sur la
and
participation
taking into
citoyenne.
account the participation
L'amélioration des
of the
conditions de
citizens.
vie
The improvement of the
portera
life
sur la
conditions
gestion des
will be
problématiques
related to the management of the environment
sur la
issues
gestion
as well as the
salubrité.
management of
Et elle ira aussi
salubrity and also the embellishment and the ecological transition. The third X, the right to the town, the right to the city. This issue will deal with problems related to the cities where we have peaceful place. We'll discuss to the access to housing, health, education in urban area, and also the regulation of the inclusive city. Now,
en axe 4, le
as for the fourth area,
la gouvernance et démocratie
the
participative.
governance and
Dans cette
participative democracy,
Les débats vont se
in
construire autour des sous-thèmes portant sur
this
le budget
theme
participatif,
will
participation
address
des
the
résidents à la gestion
participatory
des quartiers.
budgeting, residence participation in neighborhoods, management through
Comme nous
residence
le
group.
constatons,
As we can see,
le programme établi
the program that has been
par le
developed
comité
by the
d'organisation
organizing committee
offrira aux
will offer to the
l'occasion de
participants the
réfléchir
opportunity to
aux
think
solutions,
about the solutions,
excusez-moi,
I'm sorry,
aux solutions
to the
pouvant
solutions
permettre à une agglomération d'être
helping
classée
an
comme
agglomeration
ville
to be classified as a
Mais à
sustainable
quoi
city.
reconnaît-on une ville
But how
durable?
can we identify a sustainable
Différents
city?
courants de pensée
Different ways of
sur le
thinking
sujet,
are
je propose
involved.
que nous retenions
Therefore, that's the reason why I propose that we choose the following elements. First, environment,
prendre les dispositions
taking into
en vue
account
de limiter les
provisions
pollutions
in order
urbaines,
to restrict
l'artificialisation
pollutions,
des terres agricoles,
the
tout en veillant à économiser
and also
les
watching
ressources.
on
Deux,
saving the resources.
Viable.
Second, viable
Une ville
cities.
viable est
A
une
viable
ville dans
city
laquelle l'on a
is a
réussi
city
à
where we have
développer
succeeded
une mobilité
to
douce,
develop
tout en
a
limitant
slight
l'étalement
mobility.
urbain. Trois,
3,
sur le plan économique,
on the
mise
economical
en place
plan
des
to put in place
dispositions permettant la
provision
production de richesses et
helping
de création
the production of riches
d'emplois.
and
Par ailleurs,
employment.
il faut veiller à
Besides
insérer
that,
la
we have
ville
to
dans
insert
les réseaux
the city
nationaux et
in national
internationaux.
networks and international networks.
Quatre,
Fourth,
équitable. Veiller à la
equitable cities,
réhabilitation des
watch
quartiers
over the
défavorisés.
rehabilitation
Limiter
of
dans la mesure du
defavored
possible la hausse des prix
neighborhoods, and also
Aménager la ville de
fight
sorte
against
à
the
répartir
rise
au mieux
of the
les services de
price
proximité.
of goods.
5.
And fifth,
Prise en compte du
taking into
social.
account the social aspects,
Contre
fight
l'exclusion
against
et faire en sorte
the
que les
exclusion
plus modestes côtoient les plus
and
nombreux.
ensure that
Favoriser ainsi
those who are
donc la
richer
mixité
can live
sociale
in peaceful
à
harmony
l'échelle
with
de la
those who
ville.
are defavored,
Supprimer les
and
habitats
also
précaires en
deletes the
proposant une
precarious,
solution
the slums,
acceptable
by proposing
à
an
ceux qui y
acceptable
vivaient.
solution to
Et
those who
selon
are living
cela,
in that
contraint
place, and that they will be
de déguerpir.
constrained to be removed.
Une
The sixth
ville
point
vivable.
is
Les
a
gouvernements
town
locaux
offering a
doivent
peaceful
veiller à
place.
assurer le bien-être
The
de la population
local
et à
government should
développer
ensure
l'habitat.
the welfare
Après
of
avoir
the
décliné les
population.
principes du développement
After
durable et
addressing the
définir ce qu'est une
principles
ville
of
durable,
sustainable
voyons maintenant
life and
comment la
sustainable
démocratie
cities, let's see now how
peut être
participative
gage d'un
democracy
développement durable des
can
villes.
ensure the
La démocratie participative
sustainability of the
vise
city.
de manière générale
Participatory
à
democracy
intégrer les
aims at
usagers,
integrating
les administrés
the
ou les riverains à la
people
prise de décision
to the
administrative
decision making
ou aux politiques les concernant.
or being included in the policies related to them. It's a way of sharing
Fondée
the
sur le
policy
renforcement de la
based
participation
on
des
the
citoyens
reinforcement of the
à la prise de
citizens
décision.
to the decision-making
On l'appelle aussi
process.
démocratie
That's also called
délibérative.
deliberative
La
democracy.
démocratie participative
Participative
tend, en fait,
democracy
à
aims
compléter
at
et à parfaire
supplementing
la
and perfecting
démocratie représentative
the representative
et un peu plus
democracy
la
and
démocratie
furthermore direct democracy.
appliquée à la gestion
Applying to the management of the
la
local
démocratie participative reviendra à
territorial,
consulter les
it
citoyens
will
dans
have
la
to
prise de décision
integrate
pour,
the
les
population
différentes
in
matières
the decision making
Les citoyens
related to
seront
the various issues. So the
associés
citizens
à la conception
will
du
be
projet,
taken into
puis à
account to
sa
the development
réalisation,
of projects
si possible, ou
and
nécessaire.
also its
Ainsi,
realization.
il est conseillé au gouvernement
Thus, it
local
is advised
de mettre
to
en
the
place
local
des
government to put in
structures
place
ou des
some
organisations
devices
telles
or
que
some
les
structures
conseils
like
extracommunaux,
the
des conseils consultatifs de quartier, ou
advice,
même d'utiliser des organisations déjà existantes
some
telles que les syndics des
bodies
quartiers.
like unions
Il
in
est
districts.
recommandé très
It is
fortement
also highly
aux
recommended
gouvernements locaux
to the local
de prendre
governments
l'avis de leurs administrés
to
ou de les associer dans
take into
l'élaboration
account
de leurs différents
the
plans et
views
programmes de développement.
of the population in the
Plan
development
stratégique
plan,
de développement local,
strategical
PSDL,
plan
par exemple,
of
programme triennal
development,
et même budget.
triennial plan, and
Cette
even
démarche
the
a
budget.
l'avantage d'amener les
This
administrés à
approach
s'approprier
aims
le
at
projet.
helping the population to make ownership of the cities.
Dans
That
le
will
cadre,
help
par exemple, de la
in the case
réalisation
of
d'une
the
maternité.
realization of
Il faut
a health center, a maternity,
consulter celles qui vont l'utiliser.
to
Les dames
resort
qui
to
vont
those
y accoucher doivent être
who will go and give
consultées
birth.
pour déjà
They should
le
be
choix
going
du
through
site
consultation
où l'on va construire
where
cette maternité.
the place where the health center
La
shall be
démocratie
built.
participative induit donc
Participative
la participation des
democracy
citoyens qui discutent et décident ensemble
Takes into
généralement
account
sous l'arbitrage
the local
des élus, leurs représentants qu'ils ont choisis.
authorities and the
Ce
population
Même mis en
altogether.
minorité sur certains sujets, ils s'approprient le projet
The
dont ils comprennent
population
mieux les
make
motivations
ownership
et ils l'acceptent
of the
et la
policies
défendent
they
au cas
understand
échéant.
very well,
Que ce soit en matière de
either
salubrité
in terms of
ou sur tous
salubrity
les autres
or
aspects.
on other aspects.
Il faut que les populations soient donc,
Population
comme nous
needs
l'avons
to be
tout au long de notre exposé,
addressed. They
aucune
need
unité urbaine
to be
puisse
taken
remplir
into
les
account. For
conditions
urban
idoines
unity
d'une ville durable.
to
Il
meet
faut
the
deux choses
criteria
essentielles.
of an urban
Premièrement,
city,
une
we need
volonté
two
politique de la part des
things.
gouvernements,
Very first
tant
thing,
centraux que locaux.
a will
Cette volonté
from the
devra
local
avoir
government
conçu et mis en
and
œuvre
central
un ensemble de
government
dispositions
putting in
réglementaires et
place
légaux
regulations helping to conduct and respect the criteria of sustainable development, and also including the population. The population also accepting, I'm talking about the second point, the second key thing, the population accepting to share their view, will make ownership of the cities. If those two criteria are met, therefore, we could say that participative democracy shall be helpful for the city. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
So please give a round of applause to Mr. Gervais Koulibaly. Cities have started their reforms. Some have started for several years. Therefore, they organize together and share experiences. They cooperate in Côte d'Ivoire through UVCOC, knowing that they should have new guidelines. The minister is, as the president of the UVCOC, that it will take the floor. Mr. Daopola, please give him a round of applause. Mr. Minister of the Interior and of Security, Mrs. Minister of Culture, and Mr. Minister of Transportation, Mr. Minister Governor of District of Abidjan, His Excellency Mr. the Apostolic Nuncio, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, ambassadors, distinguished traditional chiefs, Mr. Mayor of Grenoble, Mr. Mayor of Cocody, President of IODP, dear colleagues mayors, dear elected guests, honorable guests, it is a real pleasure that I take the floor for this IODP 2021 that is discussing the issue of the cities. So to this solemn occasion, I'm really happy to express our gratitude to His Excellency Mr. Alassane Ouattara, President of the Republic of Côte d'Ivoire, as well as to the Prime Minister, Chief of Government, and also for the great interest that they give to the decentralization and local development. I also would like to thank our Minister General Vagondo Diomande, Minister of Interior and Security, for all his initiatives towards the local collectivities of our country. So please allow me to greet the new director of the other organization whom I had a very constructive discussion. What shall I say about the organizers and of COCODY that is organizing this global event? Thank you, Mr. Mayor Jean-Marc Yassé, Vice President of UVCOC, for giving us the opportunity today to have this great moment of discussion. In fact, in this competitive world, whereas you initiate this forum that helps us to reinforce the role of the territories and the cities through participatory democracy, you give us the opportunity to discuss and position the collectivity at the heart of the development strategy of our states. Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, we should all know that today more than ever we should change our paradigms. In our environment, we have new concepts that have been discussed by the speaker, it is more and more to have participatory budgets and also to think about the right to the city, to the participation of the citizens and ecological transition. We should think about resilient and green cities, inclusive cities, smart cities, and so on. So democracy, the participatory democracy, has been explained, is a new exercise. It is based on the commitment and involvement of our citizens to the decision-making process, the collective decision-making process. We should also know that the management of our city should be the purpose for all. So what should we do for this new concept to become the way to go? So this is how I would like to comment the themes that are going to be discussed during this conference, and we hope that by the end of this meeting we will have new perspectives. Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are today at the time of digital, at the time of ICT. So what strategy should we take to have more participation of our citizens to the different choices that is theirs? So how can we make sure that the citizens don't only elect their candidate, but that they work together with the elected people by sharing the views on what has to be done within their communities, and also make sure that all the actions that have been taken are what are supposed to be. So this is the issue that we're supposed to discuss. Dear colleague mayors, ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, President of General Council, I'm really happy that you are here today, which proves that these issues are very important to all of us. So we adhere to, we buy in to these situations because we have to be part of this new governance system. We should listen to our population with new synergies. We should be innovative to make sure our citizens can be part of the actions that are being taken at the political level. So we know that sometimes we face resistance when we bring new ideas, but we should make sure that our citizens can be more committed to whatever we are doing for them on a daily basis. So in this current period, we should all testify and have common values. So one of the main values is democracy. Democracy should be a system at the heart of our thoughts. So we should think globally and act locally. Democracy, we will have to discuss more and more during this conference. So let's ensure that it is the basis of our discussion and that it brings our population in this new democracy era for them to take ownership of these issues, to make sure we can all together change in a more qualitative way our commune and cities. So this is what I had to say on behalf of the cities and commune of Côte d'Ivoire, saying that if democracy is the basis of our thoughts, it should be for all of us a way to act with freedom, justice, and proximity, and we are sure that it's all together being committed that we will be able to transform not only our cities in sustainable territories, acceptable territories, and also territories ready to welcome future generations. So it is on this note of hope that I would like to wish you all a successful workshop to all the delegates. Thank you so much.
Merci à la fanfare qui vient d'arriver. On peut applaudir.
Thank you to the brass team that just got in. Let's give them a round of applause.
Une note musicale importante.
An
À la
important
tête de
musical
la
note.
première grande métropole
Upon
dirigée
on
par
the first metropole, it's been discussed by ecologists, which comes handling the climate, handling,
maire de
calling
Grenoble.
on Mr. Eric, the mayor of Grenoble.
Monsieur le ministre de l'Intérieur,
The Interior Minister,
ministre des Sports,
Minister of Sport,
ministre de la Culture,
Minister of Culture,
Transport,
of Transport,
Monsieur le ministre gouverneur,
Governor Minister,
Monsieur le nonce apostolique,
for
mesdames et messieurs les élus
ladies and gentlemen elects,
des différents pays,
representatives of various countries
rejoints ici à Abidjan,
that
Monsieur le maire de Cocody,
are with us here in Abidjan, Mayor of Cocody, the President of IODP.
votre accueil.
Thank you for your warm welcome.
Salue également la coprésidente
I would like to also
Brugada,
acknowledge the co-president of IOPD.
C'est un grand bonheur pour moi.
It is a great pleasure for me to be here at the opening of this 20th conference.
C'est un grand bonheur d'être
It is
ici
great pleasure for me to be here in Côte d'Ivoire, in
dans la
Abidjan,
commune de Cocody.
in the commune of Cocody.
Nos histoires sont liées.
Our stories
Nos
are
peuples sont
linked,
liés.
our people are also
Et
linked.
à Grenoble aussi,
In Grenoble,
c'est d'origine ivoirienne importante.
we have a
Là,
great Ivorian community in Grenoble,
renforce le lien d'amitié entre nos deux pays.
and they are reinforcing the friendship that we
Et
have,
ils sont très actifs
and they are very active
dans la défense du droit
very
des
active
femmes,
when it
dans
comes
le
to
dialogue
women's
culturel, dans
rights,
l'éducation aussi,
education,
prenant pleine part dans la
taking
transformation
part in
du
the
monde que nous appelons
transformation
de et que nous
of
essayons
the
de
world,
porter
and
avec
we
humilité
are
à
also
Grenoble.
trying with humility to carry on with.
Je suis très heureux
I'm very
que
happy
cette conférence
for this
ait lieu,
conference.
Déjà parce que le monde vit
The world is
sous
going
l'emprise d'une
through
crise nouvelle, unique,
a new crisis which is
et
unique,
il était extrêmement important pour
and
moi
it was
que cette
important for
conférence puisse se
us
tenir
for this conference to
ici,
take
en Côte
place
d'Ivoire,
here in Côte
en
d'Ivoire,
Afrique.
here in Africa.
La démocratie participative prend tout son sens,
Participative
elle prend tout son
democracy
sens
takes
aussi,
all its senses,
dans
our
cette pandémie,
context here in this pandemic,
une crise inédite, mais qui fait appel à des ressorts
and this calls
de
for
résilience inédits,
ideas
qui
when it
montrent
comes to
que
resilience,
l'humanité a des
and
capacités
shows that humanity has
Mhm.
capacities,
de réaction,
reactive
révèle aussi
capacity,
ses fragilités,
and also reveals our fragility,
évidemment sociale,
social
révélée,
fragility that
j'imagine,
was
ici comme en France,
revealed again
une
here, and
précarité
it is the same
d'une
case in France.
frange de la population et dans son rapport à la santé, des inégalités
And
également,
also
à l'échelle
looking
mondiale,
at the
évidemment,
inequality
qui
at a
criantes,
world scale,
qui sont criantes, dans
looking at some of the
l'accès aux vaccins.
populations that were touched, affected
crise
by
sanitaire
the
a montré
health
plus que
crisis,
jamais
and this health
la
crisis
nécessité
showed
d'associer les
the
citoyens et
necessity,
citoyennes
the necessity
prises
to
de décisions,
associate
les concernant,
citizens and populations
et,
when it comes to
à un
decision
moment
making.
où, cette crise de confiance
And
dans l'avenir,
while we are going
aussi une
those
crise de confiance entre les citoyennes et citoyens et les
confidence
institutions,
crisis,
à un moment où ces crises sont fortes, il est plus
this
qu'urgent
is an urgency for us to
les
associate
habitantes et les habitants aux
populations
politiques publiques.
to
La démocratie
politics,
participative est un
again,
indispensable rouage pour la
participatory
création
participatory
inclusive,
democracy is
pacifique,
important.
durable et résiliente. C'est le thème de notre conférence.
And again, this is the theme of
La
our
démocratie
conference.
participative, c'est un puissant levier du changement.
This is indeed a scale for change.
À la fois parce que ça nous permet
This helps us
des
to
problèmes du quotidien, de
move
faire
from
proposer
daily
des problèmes du
problems
quotidien et d'inventer à partir de là.
and also from there invent.
Et c'est dans ce sens que
And it is in this sense that we in Grenoble, talking about ecological transition, we put in place many participatory systems, and the results are not guaranteed. But what we are sure of is that by appropriating these problems, by implicating the populations in the decision making, not only we are creating new solutions, but we are also changing the culture of administration, and we are also changing the culture of the elects with the capacity that is shared to share power between representative democracy and participative democracy, which is again a road which is still very fragile. There are things that are working, but then we also have failures, and this gives us to move on. And in Grenoble, we saw during this crisis, this health crisis, we associated our populations in a convention, and this brought fruits in the solutions that we wanted to bring so that we can have a better life during this crisis. Again, this is a step further for us in a project which was carried out by our team since 2014. As I said, we were one of the first ecological cities in France, and we developed budgets on participative budgets with instruction on projects and also with votes, seasonal votes carried out by the populations. And this was open to all, and this created, new spaces for the citizens to participate. We also invented, years after years, new ways of doing with fields that are open to populations to work, giving them to appropriate and also public spaces, which also gives forces to the public and give them to be more competent and helping them in transforming ideas into concrete projects. And we also launched councils, workshops, and they come to discuss questions on public politics and also report to the administration. And we also recently had workshops related to ecologies. And again, thinking when it comes to commune, things that we want to transform, and this is producing, a platform for the citizens to talk, and this brings human means and also academic powers that are also sustaining this, and this is boosting the practices that we have. Indeed, this is a radical change for the elects to engage in participative democracy, and indeed this change of culture is bringing repositionings that will help us in going through this mutation period that we indeed are calling this a force, this participatory, and this gave us to have a very good way to move on, and this is one of the elements that gave the European Union to choose us as one of the main cities working in this direction. So this title was an honor for us, and we are grateful for a year to be ambassador when it comes to climate in Europe and above. And I know that this is a great responsibility for us at a time where France is presiding the European Union in 2022. We will open this year with the President of the Republic in January, and this title we are experiencing it as an encouragement to move, go further, to look towards 2030, to take actions, stronger actions, higher, together, and this graph of transitions, we are playing it with our population,
ni sans eux, ni évidemment contre
not
eux.
without them, nor against
Et dans ce
them.
cadre-là,
And in this frame, we are happy and very proud to also welcome you all, since the next conference on democracy will be on the theme taking actions, and it will happen from the 7th to 10th of December in Grenoble, and this will also be included in the green capitals, and we will be glad to welcome you in our cities. And again, this year the Green City will be a participative one, a project that will gather people, associating populations, and also give partners, be it academic and other inhabitants, to carry out this project, this cultural common project of transition, and which is going beyond, and we will have very enriched discussions along. And during this year we will also launch the initiative of participative democracy, including Parliament. We will talk and reflect around the ecology and how we can work with various seasons, various and how we can work with the various lifestyles that are acceptable with all the stakeholders. And we will come to talk also on actions, proximity actions, which are already going on, and the challenges. And also there are various fieldworks that are also going on, and we will all come together and so that we can look at the dimensional changes and everything that will be happening. So this is why I'm very happy to be here, very proud for this conference that is taking place, and that we are also assisting with many representatives, so that we can also benefit from your warm welcome. Thank you. Evidently, there will be a transmission, since Mr. Mayor, President of the OIDP of this year, you will transmit this baton 2022 in the framework of Green City, and I know we can.
So you will be co-chairing with the General Secretariat, and in this transmission, with many enthusiasm, handing over to you with happiness. Thank you very much.
On raccompagne par les applaudissements Monsieur le maire de Grenoble, Monsieur
Let's give a round of applause to Mr. Eric, the mayor of Grenoble. Thank you very much, Honorable Mayor. 20th conference IOIDP, this commune of Cocody is a groupment of village based on a chieftaincy, a traditional chieftaincy system, and today as host of this 20th conference, the one we're talking about is the mayor of Abidjan, Mr. Jean-Marc Yassé, is the chairperson of this conference.
Conférence, sous vos applaudissements.
Under your ovation.
Merci.
Thank you. Evzogo is just for a few months. I know you want to reduce my term, but I still have some few months. Honorable Minister of Security and Interior, dear General, brother, Honorable Minister Dao Poulin, and President of UVCOC, Honorable Minister of Transport, Honorable Minister and Governor of the District of Abidjan, Your Excellency, the
Dean of the diplomatic body, ladies and gentlemen, members of the diplomatic corps, honorable representative of UNDP, ladies and gentlemen, I will start with the chairpersons of the local governments, dear mayors of the district of Abidjan, ladies and gentlemen, mayors,
Monsieur le Président de l'Assemblée des
dear
régions et des
chair
districts,
of
Mesdames
the
et Messieurs les membres du
groupment of
Monsieur
cities and districts,
Adria,
Mr. Adria Duarte, representing the Secretary General of International Organization for Participative Development,
futur
the
président
mayor of
de l'OIDP,
Grenoble, the future chairperson of IOPD,
Monsieur le Président de l'Association des communes et
the
villes
chair
Cameroun,
of the Association of Cities and Communes of Cameroon, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen,
vénérable guide
those who have
religieux,
come
chef
from
coutumier,
abroad,
chers amis de la presse nationale et
notability,
internationale,
our friends from the media internationally and nationally, I would like to,
même si je suis le président de
even
l'OIDP,
if I'm
nom
the
du conseil
chairperson
municipal et au
of
nom
the
personnel et
organization,
président de
I'm also
l'OIDP,
the mayor,
souhaiter
and on my own behalf, I would like to wish you welcome to this
de la 20e
inauguration
conférence
of the 20th conference of the International Observatory of Participative Democracy, to all our brothers coming from very far distance in Africa and worldwide. I would like to say Akwaba, which means welcome to Côte d'Ivoire,
terre d'hospitalité, de paix,
land of hospitality, peace and hope
promise à l'humanité.
promised to the humanity. Your massive attendance to this conference in Côte d'Ivoire
de l'OIDP est non seulement un
is
motif de grande joie, mais aussi
a sign of happiness and the expression of the perfect brotherhood at the universal level for which we are all united. This fraternity, brotherhood, is fed with our racial differences, ideological and social, is giving more credibility to our citizenship, and that is from our land. Ladies and gentlemen, in our capacity of global citizen, we should grab this kind of forum to assess a serene analysis of the state of the planet, our common habitat, the sanitary crisis, global crisis of COVID-19, which has put my term in a pandemic situation. I was compelled to manage this with my council. I would like to commend them for helping the inhabitants of Cocody. Please ovation for yourselves. The global warming and the degradation of the environment, terrorism, hunger, poverty, and stereotypes are strong signs which are requiring awareness, collective awareness, and much more actions and solidarity for the planet to be saved. As far as I'm concerned, I'm convinced that existing solutions to change the situation of the earth and open up new perspectives of a more happier life and a more united life. These solutions, I'm convinced, that will help us to meet the sustainable development goals as set by the member states of United Nations. So it's rightly that during 3 days, the 20th conference of IOPD will reflect through a series of panel and conferences on SDG 11, which is connected to the sustainability of cities and territories, with all international and national experts. This strategic reflection will be conducted around 4 main topics which are likely to make our cities and communes more modern, ecological, and more resilient.
Il s'agit notamment
This is,
du
in fact,
développement économique,
about economic,
de l'environnement
local
et de la
development,
participation
environment,
citoyenne,
and citizen
du droit à la
participation,
ville,
the right to
et
the
enfin,
city,
de
and
la gouvernance
finally,
et de la démocratie
governance
participative.
and participative
Mesdames et messieurs,
democracy.
honorables invités,
Ladies and gentlemen,
parvenus à
dear
ce stade de mon
participants,
propos,
at this step of
je
my
voudrais saisir
statement, I would like to
l'occasion
grab
de cette adresse
this
de bienvenue
opportunity,
pour exprimer mes
the
remerciements
welcoming
au
statement,
président de la
to
République,
extend
son
my
Excellence, Monsieur
commendation
Alassane
to the
Ouattara, et
President
au
of
Premier
the
ministre,
Republic, His Excellency
et à
Alassane
tous les
Ouattara,
membres du
to the Prime
gouvernement
Minister
ivoirien
and the
pour le
entire
soutien
government
de
of
haut
the
niveau
Côte d'Ivoire
apporté
for
en
their
vue de faire de
high
cette
support
20e
to
conférence un
this
succès,
organization to make this conference a
sans vouloir
success
faire entorse aux règles de
without
confiance qui
breaching
prévalent en
the
pareille
protocol.
circonstance. Je voudrais
In such
également
situation, I would like
profiter de
also
cette
to
tribune
grab this
pour traduire
opportunity
ma
to
reconnaissance
express my
à notre ministre de tutelle, le ministre de l'Intérieur et de la Sécurité,
acknowledgement to our Minister of
Général
Security and
Vagondo,
Interior,
pour
General
ses
Vagondo,
conseils
for
et son
his
accompagnement
advices and
de
undisrupted
l'organisation de la présente
assistance
initiative.
in the organization of this conference.
Je m'en
Thank you,
voudrais,
General.
je m'en voudrais aussi
I
ne
would
pas
have
remercier
breached the
tous les
protocol
autres partenaires
not to have
institutionnels,
commended all our institutional partners,
district
UNDP,
d'Abidjan,
the District of
et tous les
Abidjan,
autres,
and all the other
pour
partners
leur soutien et
for
leur
their
forte implication.
support and high involvement in the
Mesdames et
organization
messieurs,
of this
après avoir,
conference.
durant 2 années,
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3
présidé
years,
l'Observatoire international de la
chairing
démocratie
this
participative
organization
et rendu avec
and
espoir,
made with hope,
valablement répondu aux exigences de ma fonction, j'espère,
validly
je passerai
the
le relais
requirements of my
à la ville de
duty,
Grenoble,
I'll
à
hand over
Grenoble,
to the city
dont
of
je salue la présence
Grenoble,
ici
for which I'm
Monsieur
commending
Eric
the attendance of Mr.
maire de
Eric
cette
Buley,
belle cité.
mayor of this beautiful city.
à la fin, non pas de
At
mon
the
allocution,
end, not my
de la 20e
statement,
conférence,
I mean the 20th
je lui
conference,
passerai symboliquement
will.
ce flambeau,
in a token,
tout en lui disant que
hand
je
over to
serai
him,
à vos côtés,
telling him
pour
that I will
2022.
be supportive to him for
et tout en
2020,
lui souhaitant
wishing
tous nos
him
vœux de succès
all
dans
our
l'organisation de la
wishes
prochaine édition.
for the organization of the
Honorables
forthcoming
invités, c'est
edition.
sur ces mots
Honorable
je
guests,
voudrais
it's on
clore mon
this
propos,
note I would like to close
tout
my
en priant que
statement,
cette
praying
20e
that this
conférence
20th conference
l'OIDP
of the
soit une
International
parfaite réussite,
Observatory for
même si je
Participative
voudrais
Democracy
par
be a
anticipation
success,
vous présenter
even
mes
if
excuses
I would like
pour les
to
éventuelles
anticipate to
insuffisances
apologize
vous aurez
for
constaté.
any inconvenience that you would
Vive
have
Cocody,
experienced.
vive la Côte
Long
d'Ivoire,
live to
vive
Côte d'Ivoire,
l'OIDP,
long live to
et que
Cocody,
triomphe
long
la
live
paix,
to
l'amour dans le monde. Et Dieu
IOPD,
vous bénisse, je vous remercie.
peace throughout the world. May God bless you. Thank you very much.
J'aimerais qu'on applaudisse encore une fois Monsieur le Président en
Mr.
exercice
President, exercising President
de l'OIDP,
of the
quelques
IOPD
mois
for
encore,
a few more
le
months,
maire de la commune
Mayor
de
of
Cocody,
Cocody
applaudissements
Commune.
et merci pour
Let's give him
cet
another
échange.
round of applause. Thank you for
La
your speech.
politique de décentralisation
The politic
mise
when
en
it comes
place
to
par le
decentralization
gouvernement de
that's
Côte
been
d'Ivoire en
put in
collaboration
place by
avec
the government,
les unions et associations de gestion
along
des
with
régions et
unions
villes,
of
permettent
management of regions,
d'envisager
gives
de
us
nouveaux
to
équilibres.
envisage
C'est en tant que ministre de
some
l'Intérieur
balance, and
et de la sécurité
his
et au
position
nom
as the
du
interim
gouvernement
minister in the name
ivoirien
of the
que nous
government
l'invitons à
of
ce
Côte
public.
d'Ivoire,
Pour
that
son
we
allocution,
are calling
le
on
général de corps d'armée Diomandé
the General
ministre de
Diomandé,
l'Intérieur et
interim
de la
minister
sécurité.
and of security.
Monsieur le maire,
Mr. Mayor of Cocody Commune,
j'ai compris que vous êtes encore là pour
we
quelques mois.
understood that you are still around for a few months.
Rassurez-vous,
Be reassured
quelques mois que
that in few months,
le mois va être passé. Monsieur le
the
ministre de la promotion
Mr. Minister of Promotion
et du
of Sport
développement de l'économie
and
sportive,
development in terms of sport,
frère
dear brother
Dao Paulin, président de
Dao
l'UIC,
Paulin,
Monsieur le ministre des Transports,
Mr. Minister of Transport,
Monsieur Amadou Kone,
Mr. Amadou Kone,
j'ai dit
I said
à Monsieur le ministre Dao Polem, mon
to
cher frère,
Mr. Dao Polem, my dear brother,
aux autres,
and I would also like to tell the others, my dear brother-in-law,
cher aîné, Monsieur le
dear
maire
elder,
du district d'Abidjan,
Mr. Governor of the District of Abidjan,
Excellence,
Excellencies,
catholique, doyen du corps diplomatique,
Dean of the
mesdames et
Apostolic
messieurs les
and
ambassadeurs,
Diplomatic Body,
représentants
ambassadors, representatives of various ambassadors,
de Cocody,
Mr. Mayor of the Cocody Commune, President, exercising President of IODP,
mesdames et messieurs les présidents des conseils,
ladies and gentlemen, President of various regional councils, mayors,
Monsieur le maire de Grenoble,
Mayor of Grenoble,
secrétaires généraux et centraux,
General Directors,
les chefs de village et guides religieux, mesdames et messieurs, chers amis
village chiefs,
de la presse,
brothers and friends of the press. I will not forget all the delegation
qui ont répondu à
They
notre appel.
answered to our call.
Venues d'Afrique et d'ailleurs,
Delegations from Africa and elsewhere. I'm thinking of
aux délégations
delegation coming
des
from
États-Unis d'Amérique,
the USA,
de la France,
France, Portugal,
de l'Espagne,
Spain,
de l'Argentine,
Argentina, Mexico, Senegal,
Cameroun,
Cameroon,
de la RDC,
DRC, Niger, Mauritania,
du Maroc.
Morocco,
J'espère n'avoir pas oublié.
and I hope that I have not forgotten anybody.
Mesdames et messieurs,
Ladies and gentlemen,
bienvenue à tous.
welcome to all.
Je voudrais, de prime abord,
I would like, first of
au nom du
all,
président de la
in the
République,
name of the President of Côte d'Ivoire,
son Excellence,
His Excellency
M. Alassane Ouattara,
Mr. Alassane Ouattara,
et au nom du Premier ministre,
and on behalf of the
souhaiter
Prime Minister,
la bienvenue en Côte
I would
d'Ivoire
like to
à des
welcome
délégations
all the delegation
venues du monde entier.
coming from the world
Pas à cette 20e
to
conférence
take
de
part in
l'Observatoire
this
international
20th
de la
conference
démocratie
when it
participative.
comes to participative
Vous
democracy.
êtes bien en Côte d'Ivoire,
You are in Côte d'Ivoire,
pays se distinguant par l'hospitalité
a
des
country that is
gens
distinguished by its hospitality
et leur sens unique
and their unique sense when it comes to fraternity.
en faisant le choix d'Abidjan comme
Choosing
la tenue de
Abidjan
cette
choosing Abidjan as host for this conference,
vous honorez la Côte d'Ivoire
you are honoring Côte d'Ivoire
et vous honorez son peuple.
and you are also honoring his
C'est le lieu,
people.
Monsieur le maire de la commune
This is the place, Mr. Mayor of Cocody, President
de l'OIDP,
of the IOPD,
pour avoir réussi le pari de cette organisation.
and we would like to commend for the success of this organization. Mr. Mayor, in a
Vous
time
apprêtez
where you were getting ready to hand over to someone else
juste à côté de vous,
that's just sitting next to you
attend certainement avec
and that's also waiting impatiently,
Je voudrais profiter de cette cérémonie solennelle
I would like to
pour féliciter.
congratulate
Pour
you
rehausser l'image de notre pays
for all the
par
efforts
votre
that you
présidence
made
exemplaire
with
à la
a very good
tête
example
de
on
l'organisation internationale.
as head of this organization.
Il est certain que la tenue des présentes assises à Abidjan, seulement la deuxième ville africaine a abrité cette conférence.
I want to let you know that the second town to host this conference after Mantoula is one of the advantages of this governance. Despite the outbreak of the COVID-19 that you mentioned earlier on, I would like to commend all your mayor colleagues and all the regional councils that have accepted to take part in this conference for having understood that this conference is theirs. Ladies and gentlemen, the conference of IOPD offers to us a framework to think and to share experiences and knowledge. It's a real opportunity for opening to the words, a place for networking and meeting. And let's say that the quick urbanization of our states imposes us to develop some plans in order to ensure the success of our cities. The theme of this current conference is Sustainable Territories and Cities for Participatory Democracy, to ensure a sustainable development of cities falls in the framework of the SDGs of 2020, and it aims at ensuring that the cities can be a resilient place, in a cohesion place, and a place where we can find justice. Participative democracy calls us also to help our co-citizens to benefit its advantages, because citizens and young people particularly are more looking for the fact of being included in the decision-making process in order to improve the life framework. But you will not deny that it needs some strategies of sensitization for our population in the management of the cities, for them to become some observators that are really equipped. That's the reason why I'd like to express the wish that this conference provides tools that will help the elected people to provide requirements for the success of this conference. I do not doubt at all about your proceedings that will be helpful, giving new weapons to our brave citizens in order to play their role very well in a democratic society. Ladies and gentlemen, on that address of hope, I declare solemnly open the 20th conference of OIDP. I do thank you for kindly listening to each and every one of us.
On raccompagne Monsieur le ministre de la Sécurité.
Welcome in escort the Ministry of Security in order to help
les ministres de regagner
the
la salle du Conseil
ministers
des ministres
to go
et
in
aux
a
panélistes
hall
d'entamer
of
le
the
premier
cabinet
panel.
meeting in
Nous
order
allons
to
procéder à
start
la
the very
photo de
first
famille.
panel. So let's
Là,
move on
sur
now to the family
l'estrade,
picture
maintenant
here
avec la régie bien sûr.
on the rostrum.
Alors
The rostrum.
Mesdames,
So
Messieurs les ministres,
invited
Monsieur le
here
gouverneur du district autonome,
Mr. the Governor of the District of Abidjan, the President
Excellences,
of
Mesdames, Messieurs les ambassadeurs, Monsieur le
OIDP, Your Excellencies, the
maires. Merci beaucoup.
the Apostolic Nuncio, you are please invited here to the rostrum for the family picture. Okay.
Donc les conférences commenceront cet après-midi à partir de 15
will
heures.
start this afternoon
Merci beaucoup.
around 3 p.m. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Alors, nous rappelons que la première conférence reprendra
We
à
recall to
15h.
you that the very first conference will
Je vous
resume
remercie.
at 3 p.m. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Cet après-midi,
This
précision,
afternoon,
14h, première
please,
conférence.
at
Nous en
2
avons
p.m. we'll hold the very first conference. We have 4 conferences scheduled for this afternoon. So the very first one will start at 2